In this video, we dive into the major developments and implications of the recent BRICS expansion. From the inclusion of new members to the strategic moves led by China, we explore how these changes are set to reshape the global economic and geopolitical landscape. The BRICS group has welcomed 6 new countries, significantly boosting its global influence. What does this mean for international trade and relations? We break it down for you. Discover how the expanded BRICS bloc is creating a powerful counterbalance to Western alliances, promoting economic cooperation and reducing reliance on the US dollar. China's strategic role within BRICS is pivotal. Learn how China is driving the group's direction, promoting the yuan, and securing critical resources. BRICS is pushing for comprehensive reforms in institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. We discuss the group's vision for a more inclusive global financial system. Explore the growing influence of the NDB in providing alternative financing to developing nations, reducing dependence on Western financial institutions. Join us as we delve into these significant stories, offering insights and analysis on the future directions of these developments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Alright, let's dive into the exciting topic of BRICS expansion and what it means for the global stage. This isn't just a simple addition of new members, it's a strategic move that could reshape the economic and geopolitical landscape significantly. So, BRICS, originally made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has recently welcomed 6 new countries: Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Iran, Ethiopia, and Argentina, though Argentina later decided not to join. This expansion, effective from January 2024, is a big deal. It increases the group's combined population to about 3.5 billion people and its combined economy to over $28.5 trillion, making up about 28% of the global economy. But why this expansion now? The timing is crucial. With the ongoing geopolitical tensions, especially the East-West confrontations intensified by the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the Sino-US rivalry, there's a clear motive for BRICS to strengthen its position. By adding these new members, BRICS aims to create a robust counterbalance to Western alliances like the G7. This move is not just about numbers, it's about increasing influence and making a statement against Western dominance in global governance. The new BRICS Plus bloc is set to challenge existing global institutions like the World Bank and the IMF, which have been traditionally influenced by Western interests. By promoting greater representation of emerging markets and developing countries in these institutions, BRICS is pushing for a more multipolar world order. This includes calls for reforms in the Bretton Woods institutions to reflect the current global economic realities better. One of the key strategies of BRICS Plus is to reduce reliance on the US dollar. By promoting trade in local currencies and developing an independent payment system, BRICS Plus aims to create a parallel financial system less susceptible to Western sanctions and political pressures. This de-dollarization effort could gradually erode the dominance of the US dollar in global trade. Now, let's talk about the potential impact on global energy markets. With the inclusion of major energy producers like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the UAE, BRICS Plus controls a significant share of the world's natural gas and crude oil production. This could lead to the creation of a parallel energy trading system within BRICS Plus, potentially giving these countries more control over global energy prices and reducing the impact of Western-led financial systems on their economies. Trade networks within BRICS Plus are also set to strengthen. Intra-BRICS trade has been growing, and with the new members, this trend is likely to continue. Countries like China and India, major markets for commodities and exporters of advanced goods, are driving this integration. This enhanced trade cooperation could boost economic development within the BRICS Plus nations and provide a buffer against global trade disruptions. So, what does this mean for the future? The expansion of BRICS is a clear indication of the shifting global power dynamics. As BRICS Plus continues to grow, its influence on global economic policies and geopolitical strategies will likely increase. This could lead to a more balanced and multipolar world order, where emerging economies have a greater say in global affairs. If you found this deep dive into BRICS expansion as fascinating as I did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We've got more insightful content coming your way. Let's look into the big geopolitical and economic shifts driven by the BRICS expansion. This isn't just about adding new members, it's a strategic play that could seriously reshape global dynamics. So, what does this expansion mean? Let's break it down. First off, BRICS, originally comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has expanded to include Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Iran, Ethiopia, and Argentina. This move significantly boosts BRICS's global clout, making up about 28% of the world's economy and nearly half of its population. The primary motivation behind this expansion is to create a counterbalance to Western-dominated institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. These new members bring diverse strengths to the table: Saudi Arabia and UAE with their massive energy resources, Iran seeking to break out of diplomatic isolation, and Argentina looking for economic stability amidst its fiscal crisis. Geopolitically, this expansion challenges the traditional Western hegemony. It gives BRICS more influence in global governance and a stronger voice in international affairs. The inclusion of countries like Iran and Saudi Arabia, which have complex relationships with the West, particularly the US, adds a new dimension to global power dynamics. This could lead to a more multipolar world, reducing the dominance of the US and its allies. Economically, BRICS aims to reduce reliance on the US dollar by promoting trade in local currencies and developing independent financial systems. This de-dollarization effort could gradually weaken the dollar's dominance in global trade and finance. The New Development Bank, NDB, strengthened by the inclusion of these new members, is set to provide an alternative to Western financial institutions, offering more favorable terms for developing countries. However, this expansion isn't without its challenges. The diverse political and economic systems of the new and existing members could complicate decision-making and policy coordination. The absence of a formal secretariat or legal authority within BRICS makes it harder to achieve consensus on critical issues. Yet, the potential for closer bilateral relations and increased economic cooperation among member states offers a path forward. In summary, the BRICS expansion is a bold step towards reshaping global economic and political landscapes. It signifies a shift towards a more balanced world order, where emerging economies have a greater say. While there are challenges ahead, the potential benefits in terms of increased influence and economic independence make this a significant development on the global stage. If you found this deep dive into BRICS expansion as intriguing as I did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We've got more insightful content coming your way. Stay curious, stay informed. Let's delve into China's role within BRICS and its impact on the group's expansion. This isn't just about China being a member of BRICS, it's about how China is driving the entire process and what it means for the global geopolitical and economic landscape. China has been one of the most vocal proponents of BRICS expansion. The recent inclusion of 6 new countries, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Iran, Ethiopia, and Argentina, has significantly boosted BRICS's global clout. This expansion aims to challenge Western-dominated institutions and create a more balanced global power structure. China's strategy within BRICS is multifaceted. Economically, China sees BRICS as a platform to promote trade in local currencies, particularly the yuan. This move is part of a broader effort to reduce reliance on the US dollar, which aligns with China's long-term goal of internationalizing its currency. The addition of new members like Saudi Arabia and UAE, major oil producers, enhances BRICS's influence over global energy markets, which is crucial for China as the world's largest energy consumer. Geopolitically, China's leadership within BRICS helps it coordinate its interests with other major developing nations. This is especially significant given the ongoing geopolitical tensions with the United States and the West. By expanding BRICS, China aims to create a coalition of like-minded countries that can collectively counterbalance Western influence. However, this expansion is not without challenges. The diversity of political systems and economic interests among BRICS members can complicate consensus building. For instance, India's cautious approach to BRICS expansion reflects its wary stance towards China's dominance. India's involvement in the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, Quad, with the US, Japan, and Australia underscores its strategic balancing act. Despite these challenges, the benefits for China are clear. The expanded BRICS offers Beijing new opportunities for bilateral and trilateral engagements, enhancing its influence over global trade and financial systems. This aligns with China's broader geopolitical strategy, which includes initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. In summary, China's role in BRICS is pivotal. Its push for expansion not only increases BRICS's global influence but also strengthens China's strategic position. As BRICS continues to evolve, China's leadership will likely play a crucial role in shaping the group's future direction and its impact on global governance. If you found this deep dive into China's role in BRICS as intriguing as I did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We've got more insightful content coming your way. Stay curious, stay informed. Let's dive into the fascinating world of BRICS and global governance reforms. This isn't just about economic policies, it's about a seismic shift in how global power dynamics are being reshaped. If you're into geopolitics, economics, and the evolving role of emerging markets, this is going to be a ride you won't want to miss. First up, let's talk about the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries have been pushing for reforms in global governance to better reflect the realities of the 21st century. They argue that institutions like the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank are outdated and dominated by Western interests, which marginalize the voices of the Global South. The BRICS countries want a more inclusive, democratic, and representative global governance structure that gives developing nations a real seat at the table. BRICS isn't just talking the talk, they're walking the walk by setting up their own institutions, like the new Development Bank, NDB. The NDB aims to provide an alternative to the World Bank and the IMF, focusing on the development needs of emerging economies without the stringent conditions often imposed by Western institutions. This move not only offers more favorable financing options but also challenges the financial hegemony of the West. The recent expansion of BRICS to include Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Iran, Ethiopia, and Argentina, though Argentina opted out later, is a strategic move to bolster its influence. This expansion not only increases the group's economic clout but also strengthens its geopolitical position. The combined GDP and population of BRICS Plus are substantial, positioning them as a formidable bloc in global affairs. This growing influence is part of a broader strategy to promote a multipolar world order, moving away from a unipolar or even bipolar system dominated by the United States and its allies. But it's not just about economic muscle. BRICS is actively pushing for reforms in international institutions to make them more reflective of current global realities. They advocate for changes in the UNSC to include permanent seats for countries from the Global South, arguing that the current structure is a relic of a bygone era. They also call for reforms in the IMF and World Bank to increase the voting power of emerging economies, ensuring that these institutions better serve the interests of all member states, not just the wealthy ones. The geopolitical implications are massive. By promoting the use of local currencies in trade and developing an independent payment system, BRICS aims to reduce reliance on the US dollar. This de-dollarization effort is part of a larger strategy to insulate their economies from external shocks and political pressures, particularly those emanating from the West. This move could gradually diminish the dominance of the US dollar in global trade, leading to a more diversified international monetary system. Critics argue that BRICS' internal differences and the varying political and economic landscapes of its member countries could hamper its effectiveness. However, the collective vision and the drive to address structural inequalities in the global order give BRICS a unique edge. They are not just another economic bloc, they are a coalition with a mission to redefine global governance for a more balanced and equitable world. So, what's next for BRICS? As they continue to push for global governance reforms, their success will depend on their ability to present a united front and navigate the complex geopolitical landscape. One thing is clear: BRICS is not content with the status quo and is determined to shape a new global order that better reflects the interests and aspirations of the Global South. So let's take a look at a topic that's shaking up the world of global finance and geopolitics: the new Development Bank, NDB. This isn't just another financial institution, it's a game changer established by the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Since 2015, the NDB has been making serious waves across financial markets, challenging traditional power dynamics, and potentially rewriting the rules of international trade, which have long been dominated by the US dollar. Buckle up, because this is going to get interesting. The NDB was born out of a need for a more balanced global financial system. For decades, the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, have been the go-to institutions for development finance, but their policies often come with strings attached that don't always align with the interests of emerging economies. Enter the NDB, with a mission to provide funding that's more attuned to the needs of its member states. This bank isn't just about money, it's about reshaping the economic landscape. Imagine being in a global economy where you don't have to rely on the big Western financial institutions. That's what the NDB offers. It provides emerging markets with alternative funding options, reducing their dependency on the West. This isn't just about diversification, it's about giving these countries the freedom to pursue their own economic agendas without external pressures. The NDB's credibility got a massive boost when countries like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Iran, Ethiopia, and Argentina joined the ranks. This expansion isn't just symbolic, it significantly enhances the bank's profile in the international lending markets. With a stronger credit rating, the NDB can attract more investments, facilitating large-scale infrastructure projects that are crucial for the development of its member nations. Now, let's talk geopolitics. The NDB isn't just a financial entity, it's a geopolitical tool. It's a way for BRICS nations to assert their influence on the global stage and challenge the dominance of Western powers. For a long time, the global financial system has been skewed in favor of Western countries. The NDB is here to change that. By providing a platform where emerging economies can have a say, the NDB is promoting a more multipolar world. This isn't just about money, it's about power. The NDB is enabling countries like China and India to flex their muscles in global economic policies. One of the coolest things about the NDB is how it fosters cooperation among developing countries. We're talking about stronger regional alliances and a more balanced global power structure. This kind of collaboration can lead to economic and political stability in regions that have been historically overlooked by the Western-centric financial system. Let's address the elephant in the room, the US dollar. The dollar has been the dominant currency in international trade for decades, but the NDB is on a mission to change that. The NDB is pushing for a reduced reliance on the US dollar in international trade. How? By promoting the use of local currencies among BRICS nations. This move is strategic. It's about mitigating the influence of the dollar and reducing the risks associated with its fluctuations. If successful, this could lead to a more diversified global currency system. The big question is, can the NDB really challenge the hegemony of the US dollar? The answer isn't straightforward. De-dollarization is a complex process, and it won't happen overnight. However, the NDB's efforts in financing projects and facilitating trade in local currencies are significant steps in that direction. This could gradually erode the dollar's dominance, paving the way for a multi-currency world. The NDB gives BRICS countries the power to pursue economic policies that align with their national interests. This is huge. It means these countries aren't at the mercy of Western financial institutions and can chart their own economic courses. It's about economic sovereignty and strategic leverage. By providing an alternative development model, the NDB is helping BRICS countries increase their geopolitical influence, especially in the global south. This isn't just about economics, it's about creating new alliances and challenging existing power structures. The NDB is enabling these countries to play a bigger role in global affairs. The NDB is more than just a bank, it's a symbol of a changing world. As BRICS nations and their new partners navigate this evolving landscape, the NDB's role in reshaping global financial markets, enhancing geopolitical influence, and challenging the US dollar-based international trade system will become increasingly significant. Imagine a world where the financial power isn't concentrated in the hands of a few Western nations. A world where emerging economies have a real say in global economic policies. That's the world the NDB is striving to create. And while the journey is long and fraught with challenges, the potential for transformative shifts in the global economic order is immense. So next time you hear about the NDB, remember it's not just another bank. It's a game changer in the truest sense, reshaping the future of global finance and geopolitics. Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. If you found this deep dive into the NDB as fascinating as I did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We've got more insightful content coming your way. Stay curious, stay informed.